Hello and welcome to the show. My first guest today is Lynn Pope, a master life and love coach. And over the years, she's helped thousands of women shift their mindset and heal through the power of forgiveness, a lesson which stems from her own personal experiences. And it is my pleasure to welcome Lynn Pope back to Portia. Welcome back, sister.
Thank you, love.
So good to have you here. And your lessons are just always so empowering. Online, I follow you, and having you here, it's just a blessing. And because you speak from personal experience, for you, hard times and forgiveness came from the relationship with your father.
Yeah, one of the most difficult areas of my life. My father was a narcissist. He was abusive emotionally to my mother. I found out not that long ago, just a few years ago, that he was molesting my sister. Sadly, my family's passed away. They're all gone, including my sister. But there's a whole different level of trying to heal from trauma after even death.
Right.
And it's so hard.
And I know that it was obviously heartbreaking to discover that.
Yes.
And then you don't even get to emote, express.
What do you do?
What do you do?
When you can't even have a conversation for closure, there's no one to go to. My mom's gone, my dad and my sister are gone. What do I do with these emotions and this pain?
What did you do?
I leaned into my tool bag of life skills and healing work, the stuff I've taught for years, and I applied it to myself.
So where do you begin, though? I mean, and even that's a level of trauma that I can't even imagine. But where do you begin for somebody who's watching? How do you start to unpack?
Raw honesty, brutal honesty, not running from the facts and the truth of exactly what you went through or what happened, because the only way we can begin to get to a level of peace is with acceptance, and we first have to look at the data, the facts of just what is and what we can't change.
Right.
And from there,
and that's the hardest part, right?
Very
for all
hard.
of us, what we cannot change.
Cannot change
what I
it.
could have done, or if I had, or all of those things.
Exactly. And beginning to be able to recognize that no matter what, I still love my family and love is real. I was even a daddy's girl, Portia. So when I love my father very much, but he was a wounded, hurting man who in turn hurt others.
Right.
And he didn't hurt me. And that comes with its own sense of guilt, that why didn't you did this to my sister but not to me? And so you have to begin to be just honest and recognize that I still love him in spite of these areas, how he showed up as a monster in some people's lives. And that's very diabolical.
The first time, just the ability to articulate showing up as a monster and daddy's girl in the same breath. How long did it take to get to that point?
A few years.
Yeah.
It took a lot of processing to get to a place of peace to say, I love him and I appreciate him as the father he was to me, and simultaneously understand his trauma and how that got expressed in other people's lives, because two things can be true at the same time.
Right. And that's just one of the realities of life.
Exactly.
Let's talk about how this is the work, to your point, the work that you've been doing, but how it shifts when you have to do it.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself in this process, and how has that changed sort of the lessons that you give other women?
There's a level of spiritual maturity that had to come about when you start to realize my peace and my well-being is more important than me carrying a grievance or a grudge.
Yeah.
We don't realize quite how much stress and bitterness and unforgiveness can weigh us down in life.
Yeah.
And so choosing me to say, I want to be peaceful. I want to have harmony in my life. I want balance. I want to feel good. And then it becomes very important to lay down these burdens that we're carrying. So forgiveness begins to trump the grievance because I want a good life.
You want the peace of mind. Was there journaling? Was there therapy?
All of the above.
Yes.
All meditation, journaling, affirmations, healing letters, all types of tools, whatever, reading books, prayer, right? We've got to use every tool at our disposal in order to start thriving.
Yeah. And so these are things that you talk about in your new program.
Yes, I have a free workshop. It's the Soft Life Forgiveness Workshop, where I share a lot of my stories, very personal, very real stories of trauma and pain that you have to overcome in order to start thriving.
And the last time we had you here last season talking about the soft life was in terms of relationships and personal relationships. But this is sort of giving yourself permission to be soft and gentle with yourself, right? Explain.
Vulnerability, honesty. It takes a lot of courage to be honest with yourself that you're hurting and to soften your heart towards God and towards yourself, and to give yourself grace to say, I've survived a whole lot. I deserve to be able to soften up and heal and give myself space to do that.
Yeah, I always like to ask people like you, the life coaches, and therapists and things of that like, how much more difficult is it for you all to say, okay, I need to go see a therapist too. I need to talk to somebody who's a professional.
Yeah,
or is it?
I believe in all of it. So I have a therapist, and I also practice all of these coaching and spiritual healing techniques because I believe it takes a little bit of all of it. I don't think it's one fit cookie cutter answers to healing. I think you need all of it.
We do need all of it, and we're glad you are here to share so much of it. All right, up next, you're going to meet a beautiful young woman. Her name is Ogechi Irandi. She's a college student and a single mother who is determined not to let the pain of her past define her future. And Rebecca's got some great advice and some great strategies for Ogechi when we return. Stay with us. We're all going to learn a few things today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity all across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe. And go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.